I want to get to the one transfer that I think would be just incredible for Arizona State to add, and that is former Arizona Wildcat defensive back Ephesians Prysock entering the portal. He's 6'3", $185, had 80 tackles, 7 pass deflections last season in INT in his 2 years with the Wildcats, and he's got 2 years of eligibility left. Now, I think immediately when you talk about adding another defensive back, the question is there room, right? Because ASU over this offseason has added several guys. You look at Cole Martin, you look at LaTerrence Welch, you return guys like Ed Woods, some of the younger guys, Keith Abney, Montana Warren, but I feel like being able to go out there, get a rather tall guy to play safety in Ephesians Prysock, who has proven that he is capable of competing at a really high level for a 2023 team that was pretty damn good. I think that would be immediately, again, kind of the same conversation that we had yesterday in terms of adding an offensive lineman. Like, iron sharpens iron at the worst.
So Short Bus kind of says it. Who are you going to drop to get him, though? DB is one of those rooms that they were really aggressive in. You've got Javon Robinson from Washington State. Yeah. You've got Kamari Wilson. You got Miles Rouser, a.k.a. Ghost. Yeah. Like, this is everything that's happening in the secondary. And Glenn even says, do we need another DB? I mean, look, here's the thing. If he wants to come here, he's good enough. Like, he will play.
Yeah.
Right? So if for some reason, I mean, first of all, some dude named Ephesians Prysock wants to come to your program.
It's a 4-star.
You take him.
It was a 4-star safety.
I don't give a fuck about the stars. It's the name.
Yeah, it's an elite name. It's an elite name.
Like, and Sharon says there's always room to steal one of U of A's best players. It's worth it. I mean, it would make for an interesting competition, and every single person that is on ASU's roster knows that they're going to be competing. It's the same thing in the quarterback room when they brought Sam Leavitt in there when Jaden Rashada was the presumed starter. Yeah. It's like you're going to fight for it. And maybe adding this guy is again, iron sharpening iron. It would be a little bit more likely if DB was a room that they desperately needed, which kind of makes me think, okay, it's a little bit more of a long shot than you would consider. However, what did I say earlier in the show? There's not a damn thing that Kenny Dillingham could do that would surprise me. And that's
fair.
It wouldn't shock me like to my core. It would be like, oh, whoa, but it wouldn't be like, what? No way. How did they pull that off?
Yeah. I think when you look at getting some of the guys from Arizona, right? Specifically, you talk about the transfer of Jacob Kongaika coming from Arizona to ASU. A lot of that had to do with his disagreements, to put it nicely, with former DC, Johnny Nansen, right? Mm-hmm. Like that is part of why he came here. But specifically when you look at why Ephesians would come here, that for me is the biggest question mark, is there isn't the natural hatred with somebody on that staff. It's more so Jed Fish left. I think the best opportunity for me is somewhere else. Now, does he think that is Arizona State? Because to a lot of the folks in the chat, right, to their point, is there room? Is there room on this roster for another defensive back? And my point to you guys would be, hey, look at last season. Maybe not in the DB room, but across the team, right? The injuries that piled up for Arizona State across the board, okay, was huge for this team moving forward. And you want to talk about a team that is trying to build something. You want to talk about Kenny Dillingham trying to build something, okay? We equate this in the ultimate model of success in college football is what? Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, Washington,
San Jose State.
Right? Stop. And what of all of those things, what do all those programs have in common? One guy drops, and somebody else fills the void, and you never miss a step. It's because they have 4-star, 5-star guys being backups to other 4-star and 5-star guys. That is elite level college football. So that is the devil's advocate to going out there and adding an Ephesians Prysock to a DB room that is already stacked with guys. It's a lot of these dudes have potential. You haven't necessarily seen what they're capable of doing out on the field. And B, if you want to be a great program, you're going to have great depth. You're going to have great backups. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that if Arizona State added Ephesians Prysock that he would be a backup. I think he would probably start, to be completely honest with you. But if you want to go turn this program into a behemoth, into a monster in the Big 12, then you're going to have to know that, hey, you're going to get 4-star, 5-star guys that aren't going to be playing in year one.
And let's be honest here as well. While the DB room is full, it's not full with players that you could say for sure are going to go out there and be really good football players.
Yeah.
Again, like you said, there's a lot of potential. I mean, you look at a guy like Cole Martin, that's somebody that you can be like, all right, he's going to be good.
Yeah.
Right? Like you could say he's going to be good. Miles Rouser put up good numbers. Like you could probably say he would be good as well.
Kamari's got potential.
But again, look, we're talking potential here, right? And then we're talking about a guy in Ephesians Prysock who's done it.
Yeah.
And to have somebody who's gone out and done it, add it to a room full of potential, the guys who are on the bottom end with the potential will not only learn from that guy and realize, okay, that's somebody that I'm chasing. That's the kind of position that I want to be in. But also, like, guys root for each other. Guys get excited. And when there's other talented people in Tempe and there's a talented room around you, you're probably going to play better. You're probably going to learn more. Like the whole iron sharpens iron thing is, yes, a little bit played out. It's a little bit cliche, but the problem is it's also true.
Yeah.
And so if you can get a guy who Cole Martin and Ephesians Prysock in your secondary compared to last year, we're talking massive, massive improvement.